Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here. We got a question, I think it was in the last video, by a gentleman named Tim Robinson, and he lived down in Florida, and he had the question, and where he lives will actually play into part of the answer that I'm going to give. It was about holsters. And if I understood the question right, he was asking about different kinds of holsters for open carry and concealed carry. And the reason is he was talking about outdoors, and I'm not sure if this is state, local, county, city, I'm not sure of the regulations here, but whatever part of Florida he lives in, he was talking about in camping they were allowed to open carry, I guess if they was inside of the campground or wherever the case may be, if they had a tent or whatever. I'm not sure, all the ins and outs, but they was allowed to open carry then, but they were not allowed to open carry on hiking trails. And wherever those trails are, maybe in some parts of the states may be different, check your local laws. So the question was holsters about concealed carry that can still be basically comfortable when you're doing activities. And I want to show you this real quick. This is my, as you all have seen for years, my EDC. And when I call this my EDC, this is my everyday carry for normal activities, okay? This is if I go to the store, if I go to work, the office, church, sitting, standing, driving. This is perfect for that. Very comfortable. I consider this an extremely comfortable holster. But this, again, is just for my everyday normal activity. This is not my rig, even though I consider this very comfortable, and this paddle holster is comfortable as it goes up against you, here, when you really start hiking or lifting or climbing or fishing or doing a lot of things outdoors, this paddle no longer becomes comfortable. And I want to hear from you guys too. You let me know in the comments below your ideas, your thoughts, your experiences, the holsters that you do or don't like. But I'm going to tell you, over the years, and I've had the leather holsters, I've had inside the waistband, outside the waistband, ankle holsters, you name it. I'm about like everybody else that's carried for several years. You've got a drawer of holsters that you've tried basically every style, fit, carry, whatever. And here's the thing, and I've always said, even in the importance of consistent carry, made some other videos, if the gun isn't comfortable and the holster isn't comfortable, it's either going to ruin your day or you're going to talk yourself out of carrying it. So comfort is of the utmost importance, okay? But I think a lot of people is going to be surprised at what I do. And Tim, the advice I give you is what I do, okay? Again, EDC, normal, every day. If I go to the mall, take the wife and kids, this is my EDC. But if I specifically go hiking, outdoors, climbing, it depends on the terrain too. Now in Florida, you're probably don't have like hills like we do, but there's a lot of times, especially a lot of places that we hike here in Eastern Kentucky, there's some steep hills, even somewhere you've got to really step up or climb. And there's certain trails even at state parks that's pretty, where you really got to reach your knee up high and you really got to step up high. And what I do, and especially like I said, even if I'm fishing or even just any basically hiking trails, I go for this little Uncle Mike's, I believe it was. I don't have a tag on it anymore. I've had this probably about 10 years or more. And it looks rough because it's been through you name it. I mean, I've been in lakes, creeks, rivers, ponds, everything from, we're outdoors people. We do, my boy, Catfish John they call him, they give him that name because he likes to fish, he likes to frog gig, he likes to, so we've been a little bit of everything. And even our vacations, we'll go to Douglas Lake and fish, even our vacations a lot of time where the mountains are around outdoor activities like hunting, hiking, fishing, what have you. But I'm going to take you over here and show you a little close-up here in a minute. But this is outside the waistband. Now the draw is not going to be the same as it is on this one, as far as, because this actually has some movement to it. So that's one thing to take into consideration. Another thing, somebody can walk up behind you and pull it out. So this definitely has some flaws to it, and I do not recommend it for EDC. I don't do it EDC, except in the conditions that we're talking about. But the reason I love this is you can see here, I can have a t-shirt on and basically cover it up just like this, so therefore it's concealed. And I have done this. I have ran 5Ks with this gun right here and nobody ever knew it. Okay, so you can actually run, do whatever it is you want to do, and nobody knows you have it because it's still concealable. Like I said, it's not as You know, with this one, you go down, it stays right there, and then you can pull straight out. This one's not so. Like I said, if it's up here, especially on your, and you go to draw, it does have quite a bit of movement to it, no matter regardless of the belt type that you have. But it is extremely comfortable. It's outside the waistband and very easy to conceal. If you can have 2 layers, I know even in Florida, like the cooler months, December, January, February, you can also do kind of like what I'm doing as well. Have a t-shirt on under and then a shirt on over, and it's still very concealed. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you any legal advice, but I'm pretty certain that anybody in their right mind that's a park ranger, forest ranger, conservation officer, a police officer, any kind of law enforcement, if they tell you have to be concealed and you have a shirt over this gun and you're running and it prints or it shows a little bit, and you're a law-abiding citizen, that's not going to be an issue. So I'll show you these holsters a little bit closer up and the guns that I have in each one of them, and I hope this helps. There's a lot of other ideas too, but again, you want to be comfortable, because if it's not comfortable, like I said, it'll ruin your day, or worst case scenario, talk you into yourself of thinking, it's not comfortable, I probably won't need it today. You talk yourself out of carrying it, then you need it. So like I said, EDC, I would go with something like this for normal activities, but when you're outdoors, another good thing about this, the cloth, I have fell, slipped, banged, knocked, done all kinds of things, and it's not going to hurt your holster. You get out in the middle of the woods like this with something like this, or hiking or jogging, and you trip or fall or something happens and you hit this. I had another holster just like that, and that's what happened, and it broke. It cracked right down the side, so then it's basically useless. So you're out in the woods having to carry a gun and a holster. This, there's nothing going to happen to it. It's just a piece of cloth. It's soft. It's comfortable. It's not going to be an issue whatsoever. And the good thing about this holster, like I said, I've had it for years and years, and it's lasted that long, and it's ridiculously cheap. I mean, you can find them on sale a lot of times for next to nothing, or even at regular price. I'm guessing in the ballpark of $10. So really good, simple holster that's cheap, easy, and like I said, I can run, jump, I can kick, I can play soccer with the kids, I can play volleyball, any outdoor activities I want to do, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's secure to me, and it's extremely comfortable regardless of the activity level. Let me run over here to the table and I'll show you a little closer. And like I said, it's almost embarrassing, this holster's so dirty, but like I said, I have literally done everything in it, so please ignore the wear and tear on it. But good thing about it, you can throw it in the washer too, wash it, good as new. And I've even had like the hoop, and it was expensive too, but it was a leather holster. It was like $50 years ago, that you literally, your gun just goes down in, and it felt pretty secure. But like I said, I've been through a little bit of everything, and it depends on your activities. It depends on where you live, because if you're asking me the same question and you don't live in Florida, you live up north where it's cool year round, so the layers that you have, the holster can possibly be a lot different too, because you have layers of clothes. If you're jogging with a jacket on, or you're jogging with a couple shirts on, then the concealability becomes a whole lot easier. But I'll show you, you've seen this many times. This is Safari Land. Here's your typical paddle holster. This is secure. This ain't going nowhere. You actually have to depress this button here on the draw to be able to draw your firearm and draw your weapon. So it's a secure lock. Like I said, it's a comfortable design for most activities. But when you really up the activity level, then like I said, the paddle holster then begins to rub your kind of the side, kind of your leg, and then it becomes not quite as comfortable. But this has a lot of advantage to it. Like I said, it's not going to come out. It's rugged. It's very durable. Everyday use, you're not going to crack these. But when you take these to the outside where you trip and fall and you hit a rock or something, that's when you can't. So that's kind of the downside of this. But for EDC, this is my choice. And then I'll show you this, and nothing wrong with the shield. I like the shield. I've got a couple of them. My wife's carried the shield for years, but we both have tried this gun for years, and we absolutely love it. I said tried it for years. Over the years, we've tried several guns, but we found this Taurus G2C, and we absolutely love it. And the reason I kind of swapped it out with the shield is wider than the shield, but it doesn't really matter if you're outside the waistband. Slim really matters if you're inside the waistband, but outside the waistband, this little bit of thickness difference isn't going to matter. And these magazines, I think, are 12 and 1. So this gives me 13 rounds if I carry full, as opposed to the Shield's carrying basically half that in the same caliber. This is a 9mm, and my EDC is in 40 caliber, but my carry gun in the woods has been 9mm. The Shield was smaller, more compact and thin, but I have changed it out for the Taurus G2C. If you've not seen it, I've done a 1,000-round test video with this all in one day. This gun feels great in the hands. It's very, very aggressive on the grip. So if I am wet, if I am cold, if I cut my hand and I'm bloody, fish, whatever the case may be, if I need to get a hold of this, you're going to get a good grip on this gun because it has such a great grip. I've showed you before the safety. He's not ambidextrous, but there is a safety over here if you're into that. But I absolutely love this gun, and this is what I've been carrying. This is the holster, and this does have Velcro. But now you can see here, this Velcro, it holds it if you're running and jogging and bouncing up and down, but it's not going to hold it again if somebody comes and grabs it and rips it out of your hand. That's going to come right off. So that's one of the downsides, is this isn't near secure in the holster. And I don't want you to think everyday activity is going to cause a problem, because like I said, I've done everything from play sports with the kids with that on to run, jog, hike, whatever, no problems. But if somebody was to grab it in a confrontation, it would come out. This is, like I said, you can see the wear and tear on this. I've had this for years and years and years, and it's been rain, snow, mud, a little bit of everything. And this is really all there is to it, but you can see how soft it is. It is ridiculously comfortable. So that is why I use it. That's why I carry it. And I've done it, even playing out in the snow. We got snow on the ground right now, and I've been out in the snow with my kids with this on, playing in the snow. So, you're not going to hurt that holster, and that setup with that Taurus, it's a real durable setup. The Taurus runs like a tank, and I'm thrilled with both of them. And that's what I do. Like I said, I've got a lot more expensive holsters, but I've not found one that I can go outside the waistband that's this comfortable, and I can still conceal it. Now, I'll be honest with you, we all know that concealed carry, the best way is inside the waistband. And for EDC, you can do that, but I don't know of a way you can go inside the waistband and be comfortable with activity like hiking. If you're just walking a stroll down the park, sure. But if you're really going to hike or really be in the outdoors camping, if you go for 2 days, 3 days a week, inside the waistbands, I don't think it's going to be realistic. Now, I do know some people carry it in the back. There's some cons to that too. If you're just hiking, like I said, just a stroll in the park, it might be all right. But I do know of a law enforcement officer that had one in his back like that, and he slipped and fell on ice on some steps, and it did break a bone or two around his back and hip area. It didn't paralyze him or anything, but you don't want to land on a big piece of steel. It's hard to get to, and like I said, I'm not against the back carry in certain situations necessarily, but I think realistically, if you're trying to jog or hike with one in your back, it's going to be kind of difficult inside the waistband, period. The last thing I'll say is it's all up to you, though. Just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because one holster works great, I've told you about this Safariland. It's one of the best holsters I've ever found. I've carried it for 3 or 4 or 5 years now with my Smith & Wesson 40 M&P compact, and I love it. I've got the exact same basically holster from Safariland, the same company, made out of the same material for a 1911, and it's probably the worst holster I've ever had. So even holsters between companies can be, so and there's so many holsters out there, it's hard just to say this will work for everybody because everybody's different. Their size, shape, activity level is all different. But I do really appreciate you asking us and thinking enough of us to ask our opinion on this. And there's been a couple other people that's asked for some videos. A couple people's asked and on the same subject here recently, and I will try my best to get to it. Like I said, there's snow on the ground now, it's cold. when the weather warms up, I will show you, Lord willing, our vehicle carry-on knives. A couple people's asked about that, and I'll try to get to that real soon when I can take you out and show you my vehicle, my wife's vehicle. We've got 2 different vehicles, and I'll show you the setup with knives because I think that comes into play too, and I think it's important to have those as well. But anyway, if you're in whatever part of the country you're in, you'll have to take your surroundings, your activity level, the weather, the climate. You know, like I said, it's maybe different if you're in the mountains of Colorado than if you are in Arizona, okay, or whatever the case may be. But I hope this helps, Mr. Robinson. I hope I answered some of your questions. I hope it's not really a question. I hope I can kind of help you in some ways what I'm saying with these holsters, because it is important to carry. I believe we ought to carry everywhere we go because, man, if you need it and don't have it. This is what I found works for me, and I really enjoy this holster. And no holster is going to be perfect for every situation, but I think when you kind of look at it all around, this is for me, and I can still hold a good sized gun. I can still have plenty of capacity, and I can carry it comfortably. So for me, this answers all of my questions, and it solves all my problems. And yeah, I've had it and carried this for a lot of uses, a lot of times, and it's been great. So let me know what you think again in the comments below. If you agree, disagree, the pros, the cons, what you do, what works for you, and you know, we'll put our thoughts and ideas together and glean from each other. I like learning as well. So anyway, if you have any comments, please leave them below. Always keep them family friendly as always. If you would, check us out on Facebook and like, share, subscribe if you would. I'd really like to get over that 10,000 subscriber mark. I really would. It'd really mean a lot to me. So if you would help us out with that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Any questions you have, any videos you want us to cover, anything that you want to talk about, hey, we're here for you. We appreciate you. Thanks again, Mr. Robinson, for thinking enough of us to ask us our thoughts on these holsters, and I hope this helps. May God bless you. The Kentucky Patriot, signing off.